Welcome to Stay Lit with Lauren Lyfestyle, the space where authenticity is celebrated, healing is prioritized, and stepping into your purpose is the goal. I'm your host, Lauren Lyfestyle, here to guide you through life challenges, help you uncover your deepest truths, and embrace the journey to become your most authentic self. If you're tuned into our last episode, you know we had a powerful conversation about entrepreneurship and faith. Today, we're driving into, again, entrepreneurship, motherhood, and the power of storytelling with a very special guest. I'm honored to introduce Julena, a mom, business owner, and author who wears many hats with grace and determination. She's the founder of Lash Jewels, a beauty brand designed to make women feel confident and empowered, and the author of How You See Me, a powerful book that explores identity, self-worth, and personal growth. Julena's journey is one of resilience, passion, and purpose. She's here to share how she navigates entrepreneurship with balancing motherhood, the inspiration behind her book, and the lessons she's learned along the way. If you're looking for motivation to chase your dream, embrace your story, and create a life of impact, this conversation is for you. So grab your journal, open your hearts, and let's get into Let's Stay Lit together. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm super excited to hear more about who you are and then also about your book. I think it's very powerful and also just inspiring to write a story about things that you've experienced and to be vulnerable enough to share it with the world. As I often say, our testimony is somebody's textbook. And so I'm excited to see how your testimony will serve as a textbook to help others navigate through their own life challenges.
Thank you.
But before we get started, we're going to get into a little icebreaker. So if you go ahead and want to pick a card.
Let's go with this
one. Yes. All right. Since you are a guest, you can go ahead and go first.
Okay. What's something you want and are also a bit afraid of?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What's something I want? I want to become a millionaire.
Yes.
But I'm afraid of it because I don't know what that will come with.
Yeah.
Like, that comes with more responsibility.
Yes.
And I feel like I got to give more back.
Yes.
And I got to handle it better.
Yes.
So
be strategic and steward it. I think that is so powerful. I agree. Absolutely. They say more money, more problems. So, we want it, but do we want what it comes with? And I think a lot of people don't take the time to consider that. So, yeah. I think that's beautiful. Mine says, what's something you spend a surprising amount of time thinking about? Sleep. People be thinking it's funny, like my bedtime is 9 o'clock. I got about 30 minutes before my body shuts down. The first thing I wake up is like, okay, when I'm going back to sleep. Like I have that schedule. I really love sleep. Sleep and clothes. I don't think about clothes. I'm an impulsive buyer. Like I just want that. So sleep is probably something that I really think about.
That's my favorite.
Thank you so much for participating in that. So, Julena, who are you? Tell us about who you are. What do you stand for? What do you do? When people think of you, what are some words that come to mind?
A lot of people will say that I'm motivating.
Mm-hmm.
I motivate them. Like sometimes I feel like I could be encouraging other people even when I don't even have it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I wake up to want to be a better person for somebody else.
Oh, that's so beautiful because that's hard because that's a lot of weight to carry for other people.
But it makes you feel better because it kind of take away from your own problems.
It does. It
does. It makes you forget about your own stuff.
Exactly. I agree 100% that as a therapist, I do that as well, is that I find beauty in helping other people see a different perception, as well as being able to me, it's like an honor that you trust me enough to be able to help you navigate through life. Because, everybody don't like everybody in their personal space. And so it is definitely a beautiful journey to be able to help other people transform their lives and be the light in the peace in the midst of chaos. Mm-hmm. And so that is good that when people think of you, they think of motivation. And that means that you are truly a beacon of light in their life, because it can be difficult to be motivating to other people. So that means you hold heavy weight. You hold heavy weight.
A lot of people, what I think, they also think that I'm like really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, it took me up to recently when I was like, I don't have to take it as a negative aspect. So I used to be like, I don't want to always be looked at as strong. Like, I'm strong all the time. But now I'm starting like, okay, I am strong in a positive way to look at it, because it's like they look at me and they see strength. They see like perseverance. They see like I'm gonna keep on going. So it's like sometimes I be like, I don't want to be strong. It's not because I want to. I have to be strong. So.
And I think that's probably something that's always been within you. It's not something that you had to like go out and find naturally. It was just that, and that just goes to show again the grace and anointment God has on your life, because everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have the perseverance to continue just to overcome trials and tribulations. It does take a lot of willpower. It does take a lot of strength to be like, okay, I don't feel like doing this. I feel like I want to give up. I don't have it in me, but it's something bigger than me. I have somebody that is either relying on me, or I have somewhere that I want to go, so I have to give it up. And so for you to be able to embrace that strength and to hold on to it, that's definitely admirable, because it's life be lifing, y'all. Life be lifing. And so for you to be able to do that, that is so beautiful. And I really loved how you have transformed the idea of not taking it as a negative thing to be strong all the time, because I've experienced that. Well, it's like, I don't want to be strong no more. Like,
sometimes I want to be looked at as delicate. I want to be like a delicate flower.
Yes, because
still check on me.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that people, because you're so strong, they kind of forget about us. Like, she good, she good. I'm like, no, y'all.
She been through more. She been through.
No, I'm not okay. Y'all need to, what Drake said, go check on your friends. No, Rod Wave said that. Go check on your friends, because we do have our days. And yes, I may get up, but that doesn't mean that I don't have my bad days.
Yeah.
And so check on y'all friends, y'all. Check on y'all friends. And so as you kind of spoke about people see you as motivating and that you hold a lot of strength. So that means you've been through some things. So share a little bit about what have you been through, and how does that play a role in the beautiful book that you have written?
So what motivated me to write my book, first of all, I am an entrepreneur. I've been doing lashes for like 9 years.
Okay.
But when I first started, like people want to know who they trust in themselves with when they're closing their eyes. So I would tell some people my story, and they was like, oh, you should write a book. So it took me a long time to like have the courage enough to be that vulnerable to tell all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff that I like kept inside, but me writing a book, I feel like that I have been helping like a lot of people. So some of the stuff that I wrote in there, I wrote about me losing both my parents. I am a teenage mom, and I've been homeless before. Violated, and I don't have no grandparents. Like I have never met none of my grandparents. I have no aunties, no uncles. I lost my sister. So it's just been like a lot that I had to like endure. And then even when I moved to Houston, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. So even me moving here, I moved here with like no address. Like I just typed in Houston, Texas. And I don't have no family here, like no friends here. I knew people like associates, but not like no friends. And I'm just like always hanging around with. So I literally just typed in Houston, Texas. And I got here, I left on a Wednesday in a U-Haul truck with me and my son. And then when we got here like that Friday in the afternoon, and we literally was looking for apartments in our U-Haul truck. And we, by the grace of God, found something that day.
Y'all. That is crazy.
I know. And I left my house. Like, I owned my house. And then I have my business in Detroit. And I only have friends. I never moved out of Detroit. I mean, out of Michigan before. So it's like leaving all that just off literally faith. That's all I had was faith.
That's literally, because she didn't have no destination.
No destination.
She just said, we
didn't know where it was to go. Like, I didn't know nothing about
and the fact that she found... Like, I don't think I understand the willpower that you have to, and the confidence within yourself to know that if I go, I'm gonna find some.
No, I ain't confidence in myself. I had confidence in God. God only.
Listen,
I have nothing in myself.
Yes, absolutely. That is crazy. I'm still taking it in, y'all. Like, I've heard stories where people like, I just went somewhere, but the fact you're like, we're just gonna go to Houston. We done packed up the U-Haul. We just gonna find this apartment. I see why people say you was motivating. I see why, because that is absolutely what it is, because no one can fathom the idea of doing that. Like, that is so absurd.
No job.
A lot of people.
No job waiting on me, no nothing.
No, wow.
Like all my clients, I was the last tech. All my clients was in Detroit.
Yeah.
And then nobody here.
That is crazy. I mean, I remember when I moved from New Orleans, I was there for 8 years. I'm not from there. But God said it was time to leave. So I said, okay, I already had a timeline I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. And I kind of did the same thing, but not that bold. I knew God, I secured a job first, and then I did find an apartment. But I knew God would be with me along the journey. But that level, I needed some type of security. Now that is definitely beautiful.
With kids is crazy. And then they moved in April too, so it was like the middle of the school. Not even the middle. It was like towards the end of the school year. They were still in school.
So what perpetrated that decision? Like, what was it that you was like, okay, it's time to go?
I was so unhappy, but it wasn't nothing specific that I was unhappy about. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nothing that I was like, oh, I can't take this no more. It was just like every day, like I had everything. Like I had everything outside looking in, a person could want. Like I even redid my house. Like I did all my kitchen, my bathroom, just to be comfortable, and I still wasn't comfortable.
Right.
So I was like, it's something else out there. So I kept fasting. I don't know if you're familiar with fasting. So I kept fasting. And then I'm like, God, please speak to me. Like, where else? Like, what else can I do? Like, I reached my peak. It's something else. Like, I'm stagnant. I need more. It's something else in life. Mm-hmm. So I just kept hearing, like, go to Texas, go to Houston.
That's crazy.
And I traveled a lot.
Did you hear about Houston? Have you ever been here before?
I've been to Houston. I've been to a lot of places before, but I never.
Was it ever on your mind? Like, I want to go, but just maybe not right now?
I don't know. It was just
it's okay. You ain't know. God carried you.
I don't know. I was just telling my clients too. Like I decided to move 2 weeks prior before I moved. Mm-hmm. Like one day I was just like doing lashes, and I was just telling my clients like, I think I'm just going to stop doing lashes and I'm going to go to Houston. And they was like, what? Like what? They like when? I'm like, I don't know. So then I kept saying, I kept telling people like, I'm gonna go to Houston. I'm gonna go to Houston. And they're like, when? I'm gonna go though. So then one day, like 2 days before I left, I had called my realtor. It was my friend's husband, and I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go to Houston. He was like, what? He was like, what you gonna do with your house? I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I want to go. He was like, so what you gonna do with your furniture? I was like, I think I'm gonna sell it or just throw it away. I don't know. He was like, no, just get a U-Haul truck and just drive down there. I was like, I never drove a U-Haul truck. He was like, well, try. Like,
and from Detroit, how long that drive?
Without stopping. The only time I stopped was for gas and food. That's it. No taking breaks. And I was only on 3 hours of sleep. Because I was doing all that packing the night before.
How old was your son?
This is 2 years. It's not even 2 years yet. So he was 14.
Did he say, Mama, you crazy?
They were just trusting me.
Yes. And you was trusting God.
My son was also in like I don't know what you call it, but he was like in this transformation to where he was like kind of, he didn't know if God exists.
Yeah.
He was in that realm. But when he was with me, he was like, I don't know what else to say. So yeah.
That gives me chills, y'all. Like, if y'all don't feel what I'm feeling, because exactly, like that exact moment is a testimony to where people could be like, if she did it, I can do it.
Exactly. That's the reason why I written the book. Like, she the book. Like, I don't have no backup plan because I don't have no parents.
Yes.
Can't fall back on my parents. Can't fall back on nobody with kids.
Exactly. I think that is definitely inspiring. I feel motivated, and I've been through some things. Like, I know the power of God, and I'm like, woo, Lord, like, that's such a refreshing thing to be able to hear from you and to see that, like, not only did you do it, but you did it with a smile on your face. Like, you didn't go down there thinking the worst of the worst. You were like, we're going to do it. God got us every step of the way from the moment we leave Detroit to the moment we get to Houston. And he did. He got y'all there safely.
I've been the happiest in my life.
And to see that, like, the reason why you left and to be able to experience it now in the space that where you were going, that goes to show that it was all meant to be from the beginning. I think that is, y'all need to be here so y'all can get some of this energy. Y'all need to get some of this energy, because that is crazy. That is definitely, I've heard a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever heard anything like that, because I hear people like, oh, I'm gonna go to LA and chase my modeling career, and I just went in my car. So I'm like, I don't know, but that's beautiful. And so I'm definitely excited to get more into knowing about your story. Like, we's only in the first half, and it's definitely just slapped me in the face and like, this is who I am. This is who I'm coming with. And I love that. I love the confidence and I love the faith. Like the faith to be able to, I love when people embrace that faith because it's hard. Like it's hard to have trust in God. It's hard to have faith. And I really, really, really love that your son got to experience it. Yeah. And that was something that he said, like, I don't know how my mama did it, but she said God helped us. And so now he's gonna remember that moment for the rest of his life. Y'all stay tuned for more. Thank y'all. I hope y'all excited to get back into it as much as I am. Like, I'm speechless. And I don't even, I just want to hear more. I just want to hear more about, okay, so once you got to Houston, you found your apartment. Mm-hmm. And then, like, how did you get into transitioning your business from Detroit to here?
I didn't.
She said she didn't. So what was next for you? Like, I don't know, y'all. I just was following what God said to do.
So we got here on like that Friday because I said like we got here like in the afternoon, like 4:00. So everything was closed around 5. Mm-hmm. And then she said she didn't even do like no real. I don't know if I should say it. She didn't even do what she's supposed to do. She was like, can you afford it? And I was like, yes. If you don't take me, I'm going to be homeless. Like, I can't find nowhere to get me and my son. Yeah. So, and my birthday was that Monday. Mm. So she was like, well, we can't get you in now because we're about to close. But can you move in first thing tomorrow morning? Mm-hmm. So we ended up moving in that Saturday. And from that point on, I just started to like really get like real locked in. Yeah. Like, okay, what do I do now? So I came up with this plan to do like a hookah business. My lash line is still in Detroit. It's still going. Mm-hmm. I still have girls there. They're doing really, really well. Mm-hmm. I still sell supplies online, and I sell supplies in a store, and I do teach lash classes, and then I'm also training my girls to teach lash classes for me too. So my salon has 6 booths, and right now 3 of them is renovated, so I'm looking for 3 more stylists. So that is still going. Yeah, but I didn't want to bring that here. I want to do something else, so I thought I came up with this bright idea to do like to go hookah because I've seen like hookah was such a big deal here. Hookah is a big deal. So it's like in Detroit it's like oversaturated with to go hookahs. So it's like, you know what that is? The
like a vape pen but hookah.
No, it's not a pen. It's
like a portable.
It's an actual cup of hookah. Okay. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. I'm not a hookah,
but it's like you walk around
like a portable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not a pen. It's a real.
But it's actually a real hookah.
Yeah,
but it's
with the coals and all that. Okay. So I'm like, they don't have to go hookah, so I'm going to start that. And I seen somebody from Detroit. She had went to Atlanta and just blew up with it. So I'm like, I have to do the same thing in Houston because they don't have to go hookahs. And I'm like, they always have these festivals and they always have all this stuff going on outside. They don't have it. So I started that business, and I just didn't have like the patience for it. I felt like it was like maybe like a little kid selling lemonade on the so it was like, because you had to like keep on explaining like, what is a to-go hookah? Like, I can't, what am I gonna do with it? I'm like, you can smoke it. They like, we're not supposed to bring it back. You don't bring it back. It's yours. Take it in the car. You go to the pool with it.
That's anywhere.
Don't bring. They like, what time do I bring it back? Like, you don't bring it back.
It's not a rental. It's not a rental.
It's yours.
That's funny.
So it was just too much going on with that. So I did it for about almost a year, and then I started getting into that mode again when I started like feeling like maybe getting depressed a little bit. So I was like, what else do I need to do? So I kept hearing that I couldn't sleep. It was just like, you got to get your story out. I'm like, what story? What story did you out? But I kept hearing your story. And when I say I couldn't sleep, it was just like I kept hearing your story. So then I just started talking to people. It wasn't about my story. It was just about just random stuff, like just random conversation. And they're like, man, you should write a book. And I'm like, write a book? Who got time to write a book? like I laugh it off and I like throw it over like, all right, I'll do that one day. Like that, I put that in my 5-year plan. Yeah. And then the more I kept talking, I kept hearing your story. It was to the point like literally it kept me up at night. And I'm like, what story am I supposed to be talking about? Right. Like, maybe I should do a podcast. Maybe I should go on live. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go on TikTok. I'm gonna go live. And I'm like, no, that's not big enough because TikTok and like that's temporary. Somebody needs to hear you. And then I don't know why that the algorithm or whatever, I kept seeing like kids going into depression and suicidal, and I'm like, dang, these kids really need help. So I'm like, maybe if I touch the younger audience, because I can relate to the younger audience. So I'm like, maybe I should start there. So then by me having teenagers, my own kids, now that's when it hit home, when the depression and the suicidal thoughts and all that stuff start hitting home. And I'm like, oh, these kids really is going through things. And then they start going to therapy out here, and they was going like group therapy with other young kids. And I'm like, and they was telling me about other kids' stories. And I'm like, I need to talk to them. Like, I want to figure out a way to talk to them. So then that's when I'm like, let me just start writing. And then that's when I came up with, I'm going to write a book.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And I really love that God speaks to you, and he's very consistent. And you listen. And a lot of people struggle with listening. And so
that's why I fast a lot. Because sometimes it can get a lot noisy. So I
how often do you fast?
Whenever I feel like I'm getting too far away from God. So when I feel like what is distracting me, whether it's social media, drinking, I used to smoke. I'll smoke the most, but whatever it is that's distracting me from hearing God, because it's like sometimes when you wake up and go to sleep, you wake up, you go to sleep, and it's the same routine. It's like, wait a minute, I ain't heard God. Like I'm praying and I ain't hear nothing back. But I always, like my mom used to tell me that I live in this world, but I'm really of this world. So she used to tell me like I used to have dreams, but my dreams wasn't good dreams. Like I used to have death dreams. Everybody who died in my family, I had a dream that they died when they died. And it was so scary because when I wake up, I get the call. And as soon as I get the call, and I already knew what it was. So it was very frightening. And then my auntie, I guess what you call her, she used to play the lottery off my dreams. And she used to always hit big. So she's like, where's my lucky niece? So people used to always say I'm really special. But it's like, who asked for that? I don't want that. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you having a dream that your mama died and then she died that day? Like, that was scary to me.
Yes.
So,
that's a lot to carry.
That is.
I wouldn't want no dream. I don't want to go to sleep.
This way. If you have a dream about me, don't tell me. Do not tell me. Just let me go in peace.
Yes.
Like, if this is my last day, let my last day without me knowing.
Yes.
So, so I used to have to pray about that because I used to be scared to go to sleep. So, around like 9 years ago, that's when I started fasting. And the first time I fast up until now, it just gets stronger because now I know like, okay, like I have to like shut everything out. And immediately when I start thinking about whatever they used to distract me, if I like pick up my phone, I want to go like to Instagram or something, I put my phone down, I immediately go to praying, no matter where I'm at. And then recently, last year, I actually caught Holy Ghost. I thought that was fake. I'm not gonna lie. I believe in God and I love God, but some of the religion stuff, I just feel like it's just fake. But it happened to me, and it happened so unexpectedly. Like I had actually just got my lashes done, and I was on my way home, and then I was listening to gospel music like I always do, and then something just rushed on me. It was just like a thunderstorm hit my eyelids, and I just got to praying and crying like uncontrollably, and just like a real Holy Ghost driving on the freeway. And I'm like, is this what they was talking about? But I could not stop. Like, I couldn't stop. And then I was just so much more motivated to keep, like, now it's like a high. I'm chasing this. What else do you need me to do? Please tell me. Like every day I wake up now, I'm like, please use me. What do you think I can do for somebody to make them know that you live and you are living through me? So I don't even want the praise. I don't want the thank you. I don't even want the recognition. Like I love doing stuff for people who don't know me, who never know my name, who would never know my name. And like even with my kids, we go to like soup kitchens, or we're like just like it was a time that we had like bought out like $100 worth of Little Caesars pizzas and just passed it out to the homeless people. So it's just like I want to do stuff for people that don't know my name. Just let them know that you are still seen. You are seen. People want to be seen. People want to be heard. And I want to let them know that you are seen. You are heard.
Absolutely. That is so beautiful. And I think it's so much powerful. I always tell people like you said, when people say anything, I say it's bigger than me. It's not about me. Everything I do is always bigger than me. And I always try to do every decision I make, give glory to God, because I know that I wouldn't be here where I am without a doubt without God. Like you said, like I know when I experience an intention with God or a moment with God, when I get emotional too, and it's out of nowhere. Like I'm just fine, and I'll be praising, doing praise and worship, or I'll be praying, or I just know I haven't been in the best space, and I just feel really emotional, and I just think about like how good God is. I'm like, Lord, I don't know who ain't experienced you, but they need to experience it, because
I was crying over something my son had did. That's another long story, but he had put our family in some situation, and I was just in the car. I was crying for 3 hours, and I was actually on my way to church, but I couldn't make it to church. That's how bad I was crying. So I just happened to check my emails, and I seen an email from the flight company. Like they gave me an email saying that they wanted me to come on that Wednesday for an interview. And then I looked, and I'm like, dang, they sent me this 3 times, 3 different months, but I've never seen it. They sent it to me in August, and they sent it to me in July. July and August, and then they wanted me to come in September, and I'm like, well, I don't got no time to think about that.
Right.
But then it was coming up, so it was 2 days later. So I ended up going. It was 112 candidates. They only selected 30. Wow. I was one of the 30.
Wow.
And then after that class, they only selected 3 of us to make it to Utah.
Wow.
3 people out of 112 people.
Just scaled
like, how did that get me? I haven't had a job in 9 years.
God. But God. Yes.
So, yeah, when I say fasting helps and it works.
That's beautiful, and it definitely inspires me along my journey of fasting as I just continue to understand the importance of creating space to be able to hear God, and to be able to learn how He speaks to me, and I can declutter my mind so I know for sure that is God. And I hope that you guys have taken the time to really embrace what she has shared with you all, and it has inspired you to continue to navigate through your own life's challenges, as well as be inspired and be motivated to build a stronger relationship with God. And so that way you can see the impact that He has, the role that He has, but most importantly, the peace that He will bring you through everything that you may experience, the good and the bad. It's literally, you have full access to everlasting peace the more that you continue to build that relationship. Y'all stay tuned, and I hope y'all enjoyed the show.
I want to add one more thing, though. I'm not trying to force God on nobody, but you are missing out if you don't got it. If you don't got God, you are missing out on life.
It's literally a cheat code. Like
it's a cheat code.
It's a cheat code to a lot of things that we be like, how do I do this? God has the answers to everything. Everything. So y'all go figure that out. See y'all later.
Bye.
As we close out this episode of Stay Lit with Lauren Lyfestyle, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and holding space for this powerful conversation. A huge shout out to Julena for sharing her experience as a mom, business owner, and author, and for reminding us of the importance of resilience, confidence, and owning our stories. Julena's journey proves that you don't have to choose between your dreams. You can create a life where they all exist together. Whether it's through beauty, business, or storytelling, she's showing us what it means to walk in purpose. If today's conversation sparks something in you, don't ignore it. Step into your calling, trust your path, and move forward boldly. Thank you for being here. I'm Lauren Lyfestyle.
I'm Julena.
And this has been Stay Lit.
Stay Lit.